Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to look at 4 things spotted in Arsenal training as Mikel prepares his players for the game versus Norwich City. So the first thing on the list is the fact that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is all smiles in training as he returns from his spell at Gabon in their chance of trying to get into the World Cup by playing in the World Cup qualifiers. When it comes to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, he is a player that needs to be in good form this season, given the fact that when Norwich City were previously in the Premier League, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang did score 4 goals against them, so that is something that is very important given we haven't still scored a goal in the Premier League and we're sitting at the bottom of the table. I think we don't get an easier test given the fact that Norwich City are 19th, we are 20th, so this is an even battle in my opinion when you look at it in terms of league form. But I think we have much more quality, we have players that are much better, 10 times, 2 times, 3 times better than the Norwich City players. And Aubameyang is one player that needs to step it up now. He scored that 3 goals versus West Brom during the Carabao Cup, but he now needs to perform in the Premier League, because if Aubameyang can get those goals, if Aubameyang and especially Alexandre Lacazette, since we haven't signed this new striker, can get the much needed goals for Arsenal, I think goals do win football matches. And yes, our defence is good as well, but if these strikers are in good form, I can clearly say that we will be in a good moments moving into the final end of the season. I think we might be in a good league position, and if Aubameyang is solely focused now on the Premier League, he has a great opportunity now to score goals, make Arsenal once again a free-flowing attacking side, something that the Arsenal fans love to see. When we think of Arsenal, we think of the lovely play, the beautiful style of play. That is something that we think, and hopefully Aubameyang performs versus Norwich. So the next thing on the list is the fact that Charlie Patino has made himself a first team player. And as you can see in the pictures, Charlie Patino is someone that is definitely going to be starting maybe as a substitute in the game versus Norwich City. He's been promoted to the first team. He's someone that I called initially when you saw the previous training pictures during September and even the latter stages of August. He was someone that was heavily featured in the training sessions, in the games, where he's training with the first team, and he is someone that continues to impress, and he is someone that has been touted to be the next best player to come out of the Haaland Academy, after Bukayo, Saka, after Smith Rowe, after Balogun and Ketia, these sorts of players, Reece Nelson. But Charlie Patino is someone that has been touted to have more talent than Jack Wilshere when he came through the door from the Haaland Academy, someone that followed a similar route to Jack Wilshere, someone that has a similar style to Jack Wilshere, and he is someone that idolizes players such as Andres Iniesta, players that are very good technically, such as Fabregas, and even Mikel himself, as maybe for his leadership qualities on the ball. He is someone that is more seen of a leader, and Patino's left foot could be something that I rather see him maybe partner the likes of Thomas Partey, because we got a creative force in that left centre mid position rather than Granit Xhaka. I think he's already better than Granit Xhaka. I don't know what Granit Xhaka brings to this football club. Maybe stability, yes, hold up with the ball, a little bit of fouls he's able to get us. He's able to buy some time. He's trying to give the rhythm, try to slow it down. That's something that maybe Granit Xhaka does, but I want to see fast attacking play, one-touch play. That's something that we saw under Wenger. That's something that we made ourselves proper Arsenal fans with. So the next thing on the list is the fact that Bukayo Saka returns from his spell at England, and he is another player that impressed during his 20th birthday, and he did have a brilliant game for England in that game, where England did win 4-0 in the end, and he did score the final goal, and he did provide the first 2 assists, one for Jesse Lingard and one for another player as well. And when it comes to Saka, that's a brilliant way to celebrate your 20th birthday. Now he's into his 20s, now he's getting more and more experience, he's growing by age, he's getting more and more better, and that is something that is only going to make Arsenal more and more successful, because a player like Saka is something that we should be grateful for as fans, because we have come to the point where we have to look at our Haaland Academy graduates. Can they break it into the first team? If you want to look at Eddie Nketiah, for instance, and you look at Bukayo Saka, Eddie Nketiah is someone that was touted to be the next big thing, but he didn't succeed at an Arsenal shirt so far. Maybe moving into the latter stages of his career at Arsenal, given the fact that he enters the final year and is just a few months remaining on his contract, and he is free to talk to other clubs since January. So Saka is a player that has worked very well for Mikel Arteta. He signed a new contract. He's performing very well for Arsenal. He's performing very well for England. That is something that is very useful for Mikel Arteta, very useful for Arsenal, and hopefully he can be pivotal in Mikel Arteta's lineup versus Norwich, because Norwich are a very good team to break down in terms of the ability in defence. But when you compare Norwich to 2 seasons ago and to Norwich now, before they weren't in a defensive setup, but now they are in a back five, and that is something that Mikel Arteta should be able to target, and it won't be easy to score goals past them. So the final thing on the list is the fact that Gabriel Martinelli impresses in training. And I think there is now a chance for Martinelli to now kick on in this season, because I think he's been under the limelight. I haven't seen performances where I've been, okay, Martinelli has impressed heavily. He did make that start in the first game versus Brentford and he didn't perform at all. Yes, we had problems. We don't have our best strikers. Yes, we have a lot of excuses. But now it's time for Martinelli to kick on, because if he wants to be the better players, we've been always comparing Martinelli with Mason Greenwood. Greenwood, by far, right now, in my opinion, is the better player. He's been scoring goals. He's been making a huge impact. And when it comes to Martinelli, he needs to start doing the same. Yes, we know his urgency. We all know his determination, his passion, his intensity, his commitment, his hard work for this game. But it's now time for him to show it on the score goals, provide assists, because at the end of the day, the statistics are the ones that show what you've done. In terms of, no one cares about how determined you've been. It's about how many goals have you scored for the club, how many assists have you provided for the club, what have you done for this football club in terms of accolades, what have you done in terms of this football club in terms of scoring vital goals. Those are the things that are important, and that is something that hopefully Martinelli will be able to start to kick on now. He's got some time off. He was part of a team that did win the Olympics, and now it's time for him to start to win some things with Arsenal, be an integral part for that, and try to be like Bukayo Saka, make a huge impact, and start to give Mikel Arteta problems, depending on the fact that if he still remains at this football club. And when it comes to Martinelli, I think we'll have a player that needs to now kick on, because if he doesn't, then it's going to be another player that was in the making but has struggled to impact for the Gunners. So we will have to wait and see how Arsenal performs at the end of this season. If you want to see more daily videos from Arsenal News TV, make sure you click the subscribe button, hit the like button so I know if you enjoyed the video, and share the video to your Arsenal friends and family. Click one of the videos on the screen and I'll see you there.